Why must the narcissist devalue you? It is a frequent question that I am asked. HG, why can't you just keep matters golden, or bronze in the case of the appropriate narcissist? Why can't you just allow an elongated golden period? Why does it always have to turn sour? Why can't you keep on receiving the love and the admiration and the plaudits? We have so much of it to give to you. Why does it all have to go south? Why do you have to devalue us and keep on devaluing us? And those are fair questions. First of all, it's important to understand the distinction between the various appliances. As I have explained elsewhere, invariably, secondary sources and tertiary sources tend to enjoy elongated golden periods anyway. Tertiary sources may only ever experience golden interactions with us, short and brief. Yes, there are those that will receive devaluing behaviour, but a lot of the time, because they form part of the facade, and we triangulate that individual with more important appliances that are with us, they invariably always receive golden periods. With regard to secondary sources, for the most part, because of the necessity of the maintenance of the facade for mid-range narcissists greater and the ultra, it serves our purposes to be benign to those individuals, and moreover, because we utilize them in a shelf dynamic, they're less likely to cause us problems in terms of us becoming bored of their fuel and with regard to them having opportunity to do something which would actually cause a problem for us in terms of threatening our control in some way. Even with the intimate partner secondary sources, and those of the shelf variety and those of the dirty little secrets operated in shelf variety, they generally have elongated golden periods. You invariably think that you suffer devaluation when you're placed on the shelf, but that isn't devaluation. It's your perception of it. We see it more as just a neutral act. You're just going back on the shelf, and often you're placed back on there painted white. And therefore, in general terms, secondary sources and tertiary sources enjoy elongated golden periods with occasional corrected devaluations. It is the intimate partner primary source that is the one that suffers the sustained devaluation, and is with regard to that dynamic, whether you are spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, cohab, etc., that you would ask, we love you, we do anything for you, why then must you devalue us? Why can't you just keep accepting all of the positive fuel that we provide to you? Of course, to begin with, the fuel that we receive from you as we assert control over you comes from the compliments and admiration that you send our way during the golden period. That blissful, wonderful time when everything tastes better, smells more fragrant, looks brighter and sounds sharper. Why then can't this continue? There are two reasons for this. The first brings forth that old adage of familiarity breeds contempt. Imagine that strawberry is your favourite flavour of ice cream. I bring you a large strawberry ice cream in a sugar cone. You take a lick, and it is delicious, so fresh tasting, so creamy, and there are even little pieces of strawberry contained inside of it. It simply is the most sumptuous ice cream you have ever introduced to your taste buds. These strawberries have been grown in God's garden, exposed to long hours of daylight, tended to by angels, and grown with the purest water, the most fertile soil, and long-lasting sunshine. The milk that has been taken from cows which graze on nothing but the most verdant grass, free from pollution and contamination. In fact, every ingredient that has been used in the creation of this magnificent iced confection is the best and is perfect. Not only that, it has been crafted by the supreme high creative gelatos. It simply is outstanding, in the same way that your positive fuel is when we first engage with you during the golden period. I've brought you that first strawberry ice cream. I then bring you a second one. Why not? This is an ice cream fit for champions. You eat this second one, but now you're feeling full. I bring a third. The taste is still great, but it's not as good. Now I give you the wonderful news that you are eating strawberry ice cream for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and nothing else. Soon, the amazing taste of the ice cream no longer brings you pleasure. In fact, you start to dread the sight of the ice cream as it is brought to you, and then it makes you angry that you have to eat it. You are sick of it now. It's lost its allure. You're bored of eating it. This is what happens to the narcissist in the interaction with the intimate partner primary source. It always happens. Since we are wired to control you and to seek out instant gratification by way of the assertion of control and the provision of fuel from you, even the most wonderful sensations soon pale to us. We are not built for the long term. We are not built for long-term golden periods with intimate partner primary sources, because, in effect, we are being made to eat strawberry ice cream for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day. We have no desire for the longevity. Instead, we need to go and seek out mint choc chip, or even vanilla, or perhaps a juicy steak instead. We need something different in order to give us that hit. Why not then just leave the strawberry ice cream alone and seek out that new taste sensation? Why do I have to subject the ice cream, if you will, to a campaign of savage and nasty behaviour? Well, of course, I've invested so much energy in securing all this strawberry ice cream, I'm not going to let it go and let somebody else utilise it. I need to treat it differently and thus generate a break from its taste. With you, I need to have a break from the now stale praise and admiration that you provide to me. The love, the adoration, the compliments, the admiration, it just doesn't do it for me anymore. Similarly, I have invested time and energy in ensnaring you, and you're my possession, and so I don't want to let you go. Indeed, I never truly do. Instead, I have to treat you differently to change the dynamic. I need to keep you around, so I embark upon a confusing campaign that means you cling tighter to me. Of course, I will now be seeking out the chocolate, the mint choc chip, the vanilla, the pistachio, the raspberry ripple, because now I'm interacting with alternative appliances, having the affairs, the flings, the one-night stands. There are so many invigorating and different flavours for me to taste. You were once delicious and invigorating, not any longer somebody else's. I will return to you, of course, like I return to the strawberry ice cream, because I then forget how it once sickened me. So I will eat it again, and wow, this does taste good. Thus, I give you a short return to the golden period, known as a respite period. You then lavish me with praise and love born out of the relief, and I lap up all of this positive fuel. However, the law of diminishing returns applies, and soon I tire once again of your admiration as I tire of the strawberry ice cream, and once again I must take a break from it, whilst never actually severing ties with you or giving away my strawberry ice cream. Back and forth I will go, occasionally being pleasant and good to you, to receive your admiration, as I occasionally have another scoop of the strawberry ice cream. Around this, I am indulging in the rum and raisin, the mint choc chip, the tutti frutti, the mango, the passion fruit. Accordingly, this familiarity and unwillingness to let you go means that I have to treat you badly in order to resurrect the positive fuel on an infrequent basis, while drawing on the negative fuel to provide the contrast. Accordingly, we cannot keep receiving your positive fuel forever when you're the intimate partner primary source, because we grow sick of it, as we grow sick of the taste of strawberry ice cream. We need to mix it up. But because you belong to us, because you are our strawberry ice cream, we're not going to give you away. And instead, we punish you in order to create contrast. We basically go and taste of other ice creams, and then, by devaluing you, you shift flavour. You're no longer strawberry. All of a sudden, you have become triple chocolate. And thus, you taste interesting and exciting and invigorating to us, because this is now your negative fuel that is being provided to us. So the devaluation of you occurs because 1, you are our possession. 2, we need to change the taste, if you will, shift to a contrasting flavour, whilst at the same time sampling other flavours. Furthermore, we cannot stay within the golden period, but because, from our perspective, the fact that we are sick of your strawberry ice cream taste means we have to punish you for keep providing us with strawberry ice cream. Even though you were led to believe that that's what we wanted and that was all we ever wanted and that's what we wanted forever, we now, from our perspective, must punish you for keep providing us with that strawberry ice cream. Why did you give us strawberry ice cream? You should have known we don't like strawberry ice cream. You don't really like me or love me if you keep giving me strawberry ice cream, and therefore you have to be punished. And thus the devaluation occurs. And of course, most narcissists won't regard this as punishment, because, where they're less raw mid-range, they believe that you have done something wrong, and they are merely correcting you, that they are indeed protecting themselves against you trying to force them to binge eat the strawberry ice cream. You are the cruel perpetrator trying to ram this strawberry ice cream down the narcissist's throat, and all they're doing is trying to push you away, stop you doing it. The golden period can't last because we grow tired of the familiarity of your once glorious positive fuel. Your strawberry ice cream sickens us. And we then have to move to the devaluation to create contrast, both in terms of drawing a different type of fuel, and therefore a different type of ice cream from you, invigorating that which was once familiar, creating a new dynamic where your negative fuel is provided to us, and we will also be trying different flavours too, as this will enable us to create contrast with you once again. The golden period cannot last, and we cannot just stop it. We cannot just allow it either to continue. We cannot continue to eat the strawberry ice cream because it no longer gives us what we want. And instead, we must shift to create a contrast, that which we had experienced before, both in terms of negative fuel from you and the interaction with other people as we seek out your potential replacement. And you bring about your own punishment from our perspective, meaning that the golden period must end and you must then be devalued. This is why the narcissist must devalue you, and why the golden period cannot continue. When you begin to challenge our control through basically not giving us what we want, that means you must be devalued. When you don't provide us with all of the positive fuel, or rather when you've provided us with too much positive fuel so we become sick of it, you must be devalued because you're no longer giving us what we want. You think you are, but our perspective has caused this to alter. Our needs, our wants have altered. Moreover, you may well be doing things that challenge our control through wounding and the provision of challenge fuel, even though you don't realize you're doing it. And when that happens, because you're threatening our control, it is necessary to devalue you in order to bring you back under control. And of course, these two things combine. The first is that you have entered devaluation because your strawberry ice cream, in effect, has become stale to us. And then, because you've become painted black, many of the things that you do that we once liked are now seen as a threat to our control through this black lens, so we punish you further. So, in effect, you get a double whammy. Your fuel has become stale. We therefore need to shift to devaluing to get negative fuel from you, to create a contrast, to create a new flavour of ice cream from you. And whilst you're painted black, the things that you do are now seen more as a challenge and threat to our control, which necessitates a malign response. You see, if you threaten our control during the golden period, because you are viewed as white, many of the things that you do aren't interpreted as a threat to control, and if they are, because we don't want to derail the seduction at that point, we continue to manipulate you in a benign way. So during the golden period, you are far less likely to threaten our control because we look at you through the white lens, and if you do, our narcissism identifies that we don't want to derail the seduction. So rather than lash out at you with a malign behaviour, we will get you back in line with a benign manipulation to deal with the threat to control that you have caused, invariably caused inadvertently by you. Occasionally, during seduction, you will get a malign response. This is where you've caused a serious threat to control, and that tends to be meted out by lower echelon narcissists, lower lesser, middle lesser, lower mid-range, upper lesser type B. When you enter the sustained devaluation as the intimate partner primary source, that happens because your strawberry ice cream has become too familiar to us, and therefore we need to create that contrast. And then, because you're now painted black, many of the things that you do which didn't cause a threat to our control because you were painted white now appear as a threat to control, so we punish you by continuing and furthering the devaluation. Furthermore, your behaviour merits a malign manipulation because we don't look on you favourably. Whereas in the golden period, if you did step out of line, we would bring you back into line most of the time with a benign manipulation. When you're in the sustained period of devaluation, we bring you back into line with a malign manipulation because you deserve to be punished. Because from our perspective, you are now a traitor and treacherous. This is why we must devalue you, and in particular, a sustained devaluation with regard to the intimate partner primary source. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.